Famcast Media, bitch.
Well, it's another day, and unfortunately, another celebrity is now suffering from substance abuse. Good evening, demons and demonesses. Fortunately, I have some bad news to report to you. Now, if you were around during the early 2000s, one of the bands that you might have heard of was called Crazy Town. Now, I was introduced to Crazy Town, I think in maybe 7th or 8th grade. And that was mostly because, I had a lot of fans. And that was mostly because, I had a lot of friends that, listened to Papa Roach. And because of Papa Roach, I was also introduced to, Crazy Town. Now, I think they also, a lot of my friends that also listen to Slipknot listen to Crazy Town. A lot of people that I know that listen to Sublime also listen to Crazy Towns. You see, rap and rock was a genre that was really popular in the early 2000s. This was back during... I'm kind of ashamed to say, but back during my emo days, I would listen to Crazy Town, Papa Roach, Slipknot, a lot of new metal bands, even OTEP. It seems like my daughter wants to say hi. Sometimes I spoil her way too much. Now, back in April the 23rd, there was a show going on. It was called, I think it was called the New Metal Madness Show. Now, as of 2023, new metal is starting to make somewhat of a comeback. The Crazy Town is starting to go back on tour again, and to be honest with you, I'm surprised that the band even lasted this long. I thought they would have either broken up by now or something else, but apparently they're still active and they're still, touring. But unfortunately, that tour has came to an end, and rather abruptly. Apparently, Crazy Town, because of, these recent incidents, have now been kicked off of the tour. So, I got an article right now. I'm going to read it for you. Shifty Shellshock is not having a good day. Just a few days after getting into a fistfight with his bandmates, cops say he was driving drunk. Just last week, members of the band Crazy Town got into it backstage. The band's co-lead singers, Shifty Shellshock and Bobby Reeves, got into a full-on fistfight after their set on the New Metal Madness 2 tour in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on April 23rd, and it was all caught by onlookers via their cell phones. It seemed that Reeves was angry at Shellshock, who seemingly went missing in action for the Myrtle Beach gig, only to show up after the fact and wanted the band's guaranteed money. Reeves and Shellshock were filmed arguing and fistfighting to the point of both being bloodied. The pair also exchanged some ugly verbal threats against each other's family members and close associates. Now the word is that Crazy Town has been kicked off the tour from headliners. Now this week, Shifty was arrested for driving under the influence early Tuesday morning in South Carolina. According to the police report obtained by TMZ, cops in Myrtle Beach say they were told to be on the lookout for a black SUV with California plates swerving in and out of lanes. Police say they then got a call about a driver falling asleep behind the wheel of a black SUV at a red light. When they found the black SUV, cops say Shifty was driving and showing signs of being impaired. Once they pulled him over, the officers say he was lethargic, slurred his words, and bombed a field sobriety test. Shifty, who's publicly battled addiction for years, was arrested and charged with DUI. Now, this is kind of a sad ending for, Shifty Shellshock. Well, I shouldn't say ending because, the lad is still alive and, there's always room to, improve and do better and start making better decisions. But, this is like the second celebrity that I've reported on. And once again, it's the same pattern. Alcohol and substance abuse. And it's sad seeing so many people going down this route. Unfortunately, over the years you've had so many celebrities that have, unfortunately are no longer here because of alcoholism and, substance abuse, whether it be cocaine, heroin, fentanyl. I honestly don't even know what other hard drugs are out there because, like I said, I'm not really knowledgeable about that stuff. I don't, engage in any of that stuff. Only thing I mess around with is, like I said, cannabis. And like I said, it's legal in my state and have nothing really to complain about there. But that's one of the things that, honestly doesn't get me. What in the world would go through a person's mind to the point where they would have to use cocaine out of everything? I mean, we all know it's dangerous. I mean, like I said, I was old enough to go through, the DARE program when I went to school. So, like I said, this is just really sad that now, following the fight that had happened, at that show, I actually had a friend of mine that was there, and he said that it did get pretty brutal, and they both ended up getting bloodied. Now, from what I understand, because apparently he, goes to shows like this for quite a while. Apparently, both Shifty Shellshock, made up with his bandmates afterwards, and they're all on good terms. But, after this whole DUI and being kicked off of the tour, those statements can be taken lightly. Now, hopefully his band members are there to, to have his back and support him for whatever he's going through. Hopefully, he'll get the help that he needs, because like I said, alcoholism, cocaine addiction, those are two serious, very serious problems that he's dealing with. And honestly, I don't think this is the end for Shifty Shellshock. Like I said, there's always room for him to improve and, start making better decisions. But as of right now, it doesn't look good for him. Whether it be Bam Margera, Shifty Shellshock, whatever, you always have to make sure, to check on your friends and family members, make sure that they're not getting involved into things that they shouldn't be getting involved into. Now, I haven't really followed the career of Shifty Shellshock. I don't know if he's dealing with loss or if he has dealt with depression or any other, medical or anxiety issues or psychological issues, I should say. It's good that his bandmates have, decided to forgive him for his actions. And let's hope that they continue to be there to help Shifty Shellshock in his recovery, because it's going to take a long time. Who knows how many months he's going to get in jail or years. I'm not sure how DUIs work, because let's be honest, getting behind the wheel and drunk, that's not really a smart decision to be making. He could have gotten himself killed. He could have killed somebody else. He could have damaged property. Clearly the sign of someone that is going through a lot and not making the correct decisions in life. But hopefully he can turn it around. And, if he does, more power to him. Hopefully he can get the band back up and running again. They can start touring again. And, like I said, bring back the new wave of new metal. Now, some of you might be asking how I feel about the genre of new metal as it is. And to be honest, there was a time where I liked it. Then there was a time where I became, an elitist and a purist. And I'm like, nah, I'm not really into this. I kind of like, the extreme, heavier type things. And I'm like, you know what? Being that, my taste in music has changed a lot over the years, I'm not, all right, well, you know what? Some of this actually isn't that bad. But either way, I'm kind of interested to see where this new wave of new metal is going to go. Hopefully we get some new bands that come out of this, and I'd be willing to listen to them. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this. To Shifty Shellshock, really just hope he gets the help that he needs, and hopefully that he can turn his life and his career around. Because either way, this would be a sad way, to end your career. But that's it for tonight. You guys stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.